Good afternoon and welcome to SENA TV Web English Magazine, where every Monday from 2:30 to 3 p.m. we will have an appointment to visit different and wonderful places in the United States. You'll have the chance to watch a lot of stories about the American culture, possible activities to do in the United States, tips and fun facts that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. So join us every Monday on this amazing journey through the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday afternoon, so get ready to be informed and entertained.
Lunes de bilingüismo.
Almost every culture in the world has held celebrations of thanks for a plentiful harvest. The American Thanksgiving holiday began as a feast of literally giving thanks in the early days of the American colonies. Thanksgiving Day is traditionally a day for family and friends to get together for a special meal. Let's find out more about this important celebration that takes place annually in November in the American culture.
Every year in the United States, families and communities get together to give thanks and gratitude over lavish feasts on the fourth Thursday of November. Most stories of Thanksgiving history start with the harvest celebration of the Pilgrims and the Native Americans that took place in the autumn of 1621. The Pilgrims were some of the very first English settlers in America. They settled at Plymouth Rock, now part of the state of Massachusetts, on December 11th, 1620. That first winter in the New World was quite difficult. They had arrived too late to grow crops, and without fresh food, half of the colony was dying from disease. Of the original 102 that had arrived to America, only 56 had survived. But the autumn of 1621 provided a successful harvest. Plenty of crops of corn, beans and pumpkins were gathered from the fields. The Pilgrims had much to be thankful for, so a celebration took place. They invited the local Indians, who in gratitude brought deer, turkey, and even popcorn. A feast of sharing, tolerance, and thankfulness was born. In the following years, many of the original colonists celebrated the autumn harvest with a feast of thanks. As commemorating this special day became a tradition, George Washington, during his period as President of the United States, suggested the date November 26th as Thanksgiving Day. Later, President Thomas Jefferson opposed the idea of having a day of Thanksgiving. Then, in 1863, at the end of a long and bloody Civil War, Thanksgiving was proclaimed by every president after Lincoln. The date was changed a couple of times, most recently by Franklin Roosevelt, who set it up 1 week from the next to last Thursday in order to create a longer Christmas shopping season. In 1941, Thanksgiving was finally sanctioned by Congress as a legal holiday as the fourth Thursday in November. For over 400 years, Americans have joined for this communal feast in the warmth of their homes. Today, families all over the United States remember this date with an elaborate home-cooked meal they share over their dinner table. Traditional foods are a large part of Thanksgiving celebrations. Many families include all of their loved ones in the food preparation. Traditional foods include turkey, stuffing, gravy, sweet potatoes, cornbread, mashed potatoes, and cranberry sauce. For dessert, many Thanksgivings conclude with a delicious, warm pumpkin, pecan, or apple pie. But perhaps one of the best things about Thanksgiving is spending time with family. Many Americans live far from family members and travel long distances by car, trains, and airplanes to be with their loved ones. Thanksgiving is the busiest travel day of the year. Beautiful Thanksgiving Day parades are also held in some cities and towns on or near Thanksgiving Day. Many families watch the New York City Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, a very popular event in the United States. The parade includes marching bands, floats, songs, and performances from Broadway musicals. People also enjoy televised football games. Many centuries have passed since that first harvest season in Plymouth, where the Pilgrims and the Indians together shared and gave thanks for their blessings. Today, millions of Americans continue doing so, celebrating a day of giving thanks.
Oprah Winfrey is, according to many people, the most influential woman in the world. An American media owner, businesswoman, talk show host, actress, producer, and philanthropist, Oprah is best known for her self-titled multi-award-winning talk show, which became the highest-rated program of its kind in history. She has been ranked the richest African-American of the 20th century and was, for the time, the world's only African-American billionaire.
Caesar's Palace are giving everybody in this studio audience 2 free tickets.
In Kosciuszko, Mississippi, on January 29, 1954, a star was born. Not much is known of her childhood days, but Oprah Winfrey suffered a troubled adolescence in a small farming community. She lived the drama of sexual abuse in her own skin. Later on, she moved to Nashville, Tennessee to live with her father, Vernon, a barber and a businessman. As a young woman, she entered Tennessee State University in 1971 and began working in radio and television broadcasting in Nashville. Winfrey moved to Baltimore in 1976, where she hosted the TV chat show People Are Talking. The show became a hit, and Winfrey stayed with it for 8 years. With her popularity growing, she was recruited by a Chicago TV station to host her own morning show, AM Chicago. Within several months, Winfrey's open, warm-hearted personal style had won her 100,000 more viewers and had taken her show from last place to first in the ratings. Her success led to nationwide fame and a role in Steven Spielberg's 1985 film, The Color Purple.
Dead son-in-law, Miss Celie, you keep on advising him like you're doing.
For what she was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress.
Thank you all for sharing this first show. You've been wonderful, and thank you, America!
But her success was only beginning. In 1986, Winfrey launched The Oprah Winfrey Show. It aired on 120 channels and reached an audience of 10 million people, and within its first year, it earned the network $125 million. Although ratings initially fell, she earned the respect of her viewers and was soon rewarded with incredible popularity. For Oprah, it was a rough start, but as years went by, it only got better. The talk show star also contributed immensely to the publishing world by launching Oprah's Book Club as part of her talk show. The program propelled many unknown authors to the top of bestseller lists. In 1999, she co-founded a company called Oxygen Media that is dedicated to producing cable and internet programming for women. With this, Oprah ensured her place at the top of the media industry and is one of the most powerful and wealthy people in show business. Winfrey is a dedicated activist for children's rights. In her work as a philanthropist, Oprah has raised more than $51 million for charitable programs including girls' education in South Africa and relief to the victims of Hurricane Katrina. Since 1992, Winfrey has been engaged to Stedman Graham, a public relations executive. The couple lives in Chicago, and Winfrey also has homes in Montecito, California, Rolling Prairie, Indiana, and Telluride, Colorado.
The countdown to the end of the Oprah Winfrey Show starts now.
In 2009, Winfrey announced that she would be ending her program when her current contract with ABC ended. By that time, her show could be seen on 212 U.S. stations and in more than 100 countries worldwide. Her last show aired on May of 2011. According to Forbes magazine, Oprah was the richest African American of the 20th century and the world's only African American billionaire for 3 years running. Life magazine hailed her as the most influential woman of her generation. In 2005, Businessweek named her the greatest African American philanthropist in American history. Through her ever-growing media empire, complete with magazines, radio channels, and the Oprah Winfrey Network, Oprah continues to influence millions of homes around the world.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back after a short break and you'll see the interview with Edgardo Arizaga, a U.S. citizen who is promoting the American culture through his restaurant at La Candelaria in Bogotá. Do you know what is the difference between A and N?
Ya regresamos con TV Web Educativa. Seguimos con TV Web Educativa.
A goes before words that begin with consonants. For example, a dog, a man, a bed. N goes only before words that begin with vowels. For example, an apple, an egg, an elephant. We had the opportunity to talk with Edgardo Arizaga, an American citizen who moved to our country and opened a restaurant in the historical quarter of La Candelaria.
La sopa de tomate, ¿cómo vamos con eso? ¿Se arma el mirepoix? I was born in San Diego, California. I grew up with the two languages because my parents, my heritage is mixed. I'm binational. I have Mexican nationality and American national. It takes me 10 minutes to get from my house into Mexico. I always dreamt about building a career or a life in another country. I moved here January 23rd of 2008. My pursuit in this profession is really to be a butcher, you know, and a butcher charcutier where I can prepare my own sausages, I can prepare my own terrines, and it's something that I really like, I really enjoy to do, and I also find that it's many of those techniques and many of those culinary preparations are really new to Colombians. So it's kind of my way of bringing, you know, maybe some of the things from home or maybe some of the things from Europe to Colombians and you know, exposing the virtues of you know, foods from other countries. I wanted to have a business here and I wanted to build a career here, challenge myself. I saw a lot of opportunity in the country. There still is a lot of opportunity in the country, and it's nice, you know. It's a nice city, Bogota. Opening the restaurant as a business was quite easy. The process of going to open a restaurant or gain a business license, etc., is quite easy in Colombia. I live in La Candelaria, you know, where there's a lot of foreigners, but as well, I mean, the Spanish that's spoken here is a lot different than what maybe is spoken in Rosales. You know, so sometimes I would pick up things from the neighborhood here that I would use somewhere else, and people would tell me, no, you can't speak like that. Pero le falta sal, sí, un buen toque de sal. It took me a while to adapt to some of the mannerisms or some of the say the shortcuts to a language, you know, like I wasn't used to having a natural juice with lunch, but I know that having natural juices with lunch in Colombia is very typical. It was a big challenge, you know, trying to convert them from drinking a fruit juice to a nice glass of wine to a company that maybe, you know, marries well with lunch. The concept Colombians have of the way Americans eat is just sausages or maybe hot dog and hamburger, maybe and pizza, or, you know, the concept is that, you know, we just eat junk food. I focus on a southern style of cuisine. Part of the idea of the restaurant is to expound the virtues of American cuisine, you know, that it's not just about, you know, the hamburger, the hot dog, or the sandwich. One of the attractions to come here as a foreigner and living here is that, you know, you come from a society that is very organized and square, something that's maybe a little bit more chaotic but more diverse and in some ways even a little more fun, you know. You're not always maybe, so to speak, in a box. You know, it's a little bit more round. It's a little bit, sometimes it's more warm. See, I've been to Medellin. I've been to Bucaramanga and San Gil and Santander, which is absolutely spectacular. I've been to the coast once, to Santa Marta, Rodadero, and I visited, National Park Tayrona. Where else have Boyacá is beautiful. People maybe wouldn't imagine just the scenery or just how lush and green it is. And when foreigners come, they usually go to the guidebook and immediately stay in Bogota for a couple days and maybe go straight to the coast, but they forget that, the coffee region has absolutely spectacular scenery, and many people skip that, and it's beautiful. I've been to Armenia, Pereira, and Manizales. So I was able to go up into the high Andes and see all the coffee, and it's really nice. My idea with food is I'm able to transport them to the States via what's on the plate. I decided to build a life in Colombia because I wanted to bring culture here too, and I wanted to bring some of what the things that, or the manner that we eat, or the things that we eat in the States. I wanted to bring them here and show Colombians, a part of my culture, a part of where I come from. I'm gonna stay in Colombia as long as Colombia wants me here.
Thank you so much, Edgardo, for sharing your life story, your interesting work, your experiences, and your feelings about Colombia. We are sure this will encourage many people to come and stay. For many tourists in the world, the Grand Canyon is the ultimate American travel destination. Climbing a mile deep into the earth and averaging 10 miles across, its majestic scenery can take your breath away. The Colorado River has carved the canyon over the past 6 million years and exposed rocks up to 2 billion years old, which is considered half the age of the Earth. Join us on this journey and get ready to be amazed by the beauty of this gift of nature.
Alongside Mount Everest in the Himalayas and Victoria Falls in southern Africa, the Grand Canyon is considered one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization named it a World Heritage Site. Its beauty has captivated millions of visitors from around the world with its visually overwhelming size and colorful landscape. Located in the state of Arizona, this canyon gets its name from its greatness. It is more than 18 miles wide, 277 miles long, and over a mile deep, which is just about the size of 5 Eiffel Towers stacked up, one over the other. The massive canyon expands through vast areas, most famous of which is Grand Canyon National Park. According to geologists, there are mountains higher and older than the Himalayas and the Rockies at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. The canyon's age is estimated to be 1.7 billion years old. The youngest mountain is estimated to be 250 million years old. There are also prehistoric traces of human adaptation to a particularly harsh environment. Scenic wonders in the Grand Canyon include high hills, plains, deserts, forests, lava flows, streams, waterfalls, and one of America's great whitewater rivers. Also, the national park holds more than 1,000 plant species, 76 mammals, 16 types of fish, 299 birds, and 41 reptile and amphibian species have been identified in the Grand Canyon. The park attracts 5 million visitors from around the world, and the busiest season is during the summer. Activities such as sightseeing, camping, rafting, hiking, bike riding, running, and taking helicopter tours are popular in the park. Recently, a glass-bottomed Grand Canyon Skywalk was opened on Grand Canyon West. The skywalk looks like a gigantic balcony with a transparent floor, that lets you take a peek into the immensity of this natural wonder.
Can you guess how the commonly used word okay was conceived? Stay tuned so you can see the answer to this question and the trivia after the break. What is the difference between how many and how much?
Ya regresamos con TV Web Educativa. Seguimos con TV Web Educativa.
Las expresiones how much y how many se utilizan para preguntar por cantidades de algo. Si se trata de sustantivos contables, se aplica how many, pero si se trata de sustantivos incontables, se usa how much. Some things are countable and have plural forms, like apples, so we will say how many apples do you want? How many books have you read? Other things are uncountable. They don't have plurals, so you will say how much milk do you want in your tea? How much salt is there in this recipe? If, however, you added a measure word, you will change to how many. For example, how many bottles of milk have you bought? How many pinches of salt are needed in this recipe? Hi everyone and welcome to our English tip for today. This lesson is part of the National Learning Service SENA bilingual programs. There are thousands of words that are the same or similar in appearance in Spanish and English and have the same meaning in both languages. These words are called cognates. There are also many circumstances where appearances are deceiving and words that look alike are quite different in meaning. They are called false cognates. Here, you will find some of the most common false cognates, also known as false friends. Thank you, Philip. Actually significa en realidad y no actualmente, que es un error que comete la gente muy seguido. Actualmente en inglés se diría nowadays or currently. For example, no, I'm not his girlfriend. I'm his sister actually. Another example is few people do their laundry by hand nowadays. O I'm currently taking English classes. Otro error común es to assist, que significa ayudar y no asistir a un lugar. The verb in English is to attend. For example, the doctor will assist her with the administration of the medication. Another example is she will attend the marriage ceremony with her family. Otro error es attempt, que significa intento y no atentado. The expression in English is terrorist attack. For example, he will attempt to break the speed record. Another example is 9/11 was a devastating terrorist attack. Otro error común es carpet, que significa alfombra y no carpeta. The word in English is folder. For example, the red carpet was rolled out for the artists. Another example is, could you please give me the blue folder? Another example is terrific, something great and awesome. Terrific es algo grandioso y bueno, pero no algo terrorífico como muchos suelen pensar. That's all for today. Stay tuned to TV Web SENA so you can continue to learn English. Bye everyone and thank you, Philip. I love you.
Do you know what the abbreviation OK means? Did you know the word barbecue is originally from the Spanish language? Let's find out. Did you know that there are several supposed origins to the commonly used word OK? The earliest recorded use of this expression has been traced to the Boston Morning Post newspaper in its March of 1839 edition. It seems to have been an example of a wrong abbreviation and supposedly stood for all correct, meaning all correct. Another story says that in 1840, the Democrats in New York created a group called the Democratic OK Club to support their candidate Martin Van Buren. OK here actually stood for Old Kinderhook, where the candidate was born in the state of New York. Whichever was its true origin, in 1932 it was officially included among the international terms for radio broadcasting. Later, during the Second World War, the American Army used the expression "oh killed" to refer to 0 killed. Every child, not only in the United States, but the world, has a teddy bear. Did you know what the origin of the name is? This word refers to a soft, stuffed toy bear, and the legend says it was named after American President Theodore Roosevelt, whose nickname was Teddy. It is said that President Roosevelt saved the life of a baby bear while he was out hunting. When this story appeared in a Washington newspaper as a cartoon, suddenly these cute and cuddly stuffed toys took the name of teddy bears. Did you know that the word barbecue was originated in the Caribbean and comes from the Spanish word barbacoa? Originally, this term was used to refer to a grill used to cook meat. In English, it refers both to the metal frame used for cooking outdoors and also to the name of a meal or an outdoor party during which food is cooked. In American English, it's spelled barbecue.
Well, we have reached the end of our show, and we hope that you'll join us on our next journey through the American culture. Next week, we're going to travel to the most important museums in the United States, and we're going to explore the life of Ray Kroc, founder of the popular fast food restaurant McDonald's, and many other activities and trivias we have to share with you. You can visit us at www.senavirtual.edu.co, on Facebook, Sena Comunica, and on Twitter at Sena Comunica. See you all next Monday. Bye-bye, and have a nice week.